menagerie of tortured souls is said to lurk in these corridors deep in West Virginia's Allegheny Mountains. This is Morella Belle, and you're listening to the Secret Virginia podcast, where we explore the hidden mysteries of the Old Dominion and its neighbors. Visit us at secretvirginia.com and on social media at Secret Virginia. Designed by Baltimore architect Richard Snowden Andrews in Gothic and Tudor Revival styles, construction on the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum began in 1858. Its main building was laid out according to the Kirkbride plan, brainchild of Superintendent of the Pennsylvania Hospital for the Insane, Thomas Story Kirkbride. Kirkbride reckoned that exposure to natural light and fresh air would aid in curing the mentally ill, so he designed a long, narrow hospital with staggered wings extending outward from the center. The furthest wings were reserved for the most violent or disturbed patients. In 1861, the Civil War's outbreak interrupted construction on Virginia's new asylum as Union troops seized nearly $30,000 in gold construction funds from a local bank and used them to help fund a pro-Union Virginia government in Wheeling. When West Virginia seceded from Virginia in 1863 and was admitted to the Union, the new state government renamed it the West Virginia Hospital for the Insane. Construction on the sprawling grounds, with everything the hospital needed to be a self-sustaining community, wasn't completed until 1881. Originally designed to accommodate 250 patients in relatively comfortable surroundings with plenty of natural light and fresh air, conditions at the West Virginia Hospital for the Insane slowly deteriorated into a horror show. During the 1950s, its population peaked at a staggering 2,600 patients, with state and medical officials resorting to lobotomy to reduce overcrowding. Lobotomy means to make patients docile by severing connections in the frontal lobe of the brain with a sharp instrument like an ice pick. It's believed over 1,000 lobotomies were performed there. Like many large psychiatric hospitals, Weston State Hospital, as it came to be called, closed in the 1990s. It was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1978, and the Weston Hospital main building was designated a National Historic Landmark in 1990. In 1999, local constables used the abandoned hospital to play something called paintball, and it sat empty for years. Preservation efforts bore fruit in 2007 when a gentleman named Joe Jordan purchased the building for $1.5 million and opened it for tours. An abandoned insane asylum with sprawling wings and rooms bearing reminders of past patients was a natural incubator for ghost stories, and paranormal-themed tours were baked into Jordan's business model. Weston State Hospital has appeared in a cornucopia of TV shows, including Travel Channel's Ghost Stories, Paranormal Challenge, and Ghost Adventures, Syfy's Ghost Hunters, and Destination America's Paranormal Lockdown, making it one of the most famous destinations for ghost hunting and dark tourism in America. So what kind of wild chicanery goes on there? According to Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum staff, phantasmagoria includes everything from apparition sightings to explainable voices and sounds. There are the ghosts of a little girl named Lily, men named Jesse and Jim James, or Big Jim, Ruth, and a nurse named Elizabeth, Civil War soldiers, and a murderer named Slewfoot. Visitors leave coins, cigars, cigarettes, toys, and even liquor, though not officially allowed, at various places around the asylum as offerings to the ghosts. Marissa M. Cascino, writing in the Washingtonian, described a curious incident on her overnight ghost hunt. Julia and I sat up in a room allegedly haunted by a spirit named Jim James, she wrote. We placed a mag light on the floor and asked Jim to turn it on. The light was Julia's, but I inspected it and it seemed totally ordinary. A few beats passed, then it came on by itself. I offered Jim a cigarette to turn it back off. It went dark. The most widely known ghost to allegedly inhabit Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is that of a young girl wearing a white dress named Lily. According to Thought Catalog's Jerome London, it's believed Lily was born at the asylum and grew up there, tragically dying at the age of 9. Her ghost plays in the children's ward, laughing, rolling balls along the floor, and playing a music box. During my return trip to the asylum, our guide took us to the attic, which had been converted from visitor house into patient rooms to ease overcrowding. Well, it looked very different the last time I was there. At the end of a row of identical rooms, there was a room with a closet in which our guide invited 3 guests to sit for a few minutes. Anyone brave enough to sit in the dark closet experienced a strange sense of calm and noticed a rapid passage of time, he explained. One after another, 3 ladies sat in the closet, and all 3 reported the phenomenon to one degree or another. Whether this was due to something paranormal or the effects of being in a dark, confined space is debatable. Whether or not you believe the numerous reports of paranormal activity at Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, the opportunity to explore the history, architecture, and artifacts of the building is well worth the drive. When it was in operation, access to the public was severely restricted, but now you are free to roam its corridors for a small fee. Who knows what you might discover hiding in the shadows? Once again, this is Morella Belle, and you're listening to the Secret Virginia podcast. Y'all sleep tight.